In this video, we're going to create the calendar inputs and then move to the edit trip module. So to create this calendar input, we will need to use jQuery UI. So we will need to include the jQuery UI files in our head elements. So let's go to the Google CDN websites and look for the jQuery UI links. Okay, so I'm going to copy this one and place it in the head element. Okay, so now we're gonna need to go to our JavaScript file and select the date input. Okay, so you can select the input using the name of the input. So the name that we used for this input is date. Okay, so we're going to select inputs with a name equal to date. And then we're going to use the method called datePicker. So again, we need jQuery and jQuery UI in order for us to use this. So this will take a few options. Okay, so first of all, we want to show one month, okay, in the calendar. So you can do that by using the number of months property that we're going to set to 1. Also, you can see that when we click on the calendar, it actually fades in. So you're going to add some animation. So show animation like this. I'm going to set that to fade in. Okay, now the format that we're going to be using here is going to be the weekday followed by the day of the month, and then by the month, and then comma year. So we have covered this already in the jQuery section, but just very quickly, I'm going to set the date format to something like this. So capital D for the weekday, and then the date, small d, and then capital M for the month, like that, and then comma, and then 2 Y's to show the full year like this. Okay, and then we're going to add some other properties. So you can see that the minimum date we've got is today plus 1. Okay, tomorrow's date. So we're going to set that to using the min date property that I'm going to set to 1 plus 1. And then we're going to have also a maximum date, which is 12 months from now. So you can do that by using the max date property. And we're going to set that to plus 12 months like this. Okay. So let's save and refresh the page. Okay, so it doesn't work, and the reason why is because it's saying here jQuery is not defined. So to fix this, we're going to need to have the jQuery link before the jQuery UI scripts. Okay, so let's look for the jQuery link Okay. So I'm going to copy all of that. Right before the jQuery UI stuff. Okay, so now let's save and refresh the page. Here we go, and that's better. Okay, so we want to change the styling of jQuery UI to this nice yellow styling. So to do this, we're going to go to the link and change the theme to sunny. Let's try again. Okay, perfect. You can also notice that we can see the week number in the final website. So we're just going to need to add an extra option there. Okay. Which is show week. And we're going to set it to true. All right. And we can see the week number now. Okay, so now let's move to the edit trip modal. So we're going to show that modal when we click on the edit button on any trip. So for now, we don't have any edit button, but we're just going to create this modal for now. And then we're going to come back later to the modal and see how we're going to fill it once we are able to show the trips on the page. Okay, so to create this modal, we can just copy the add trip modal and customize it. Okay, so we're gonna change the ID, edit trip form, edit trip modal. Okay, we're gonna need to come back later to all the IDs of these headings, okay, because we need them to be different between different modals. Okay, I'm gonna leave it for now. It's not going to cause any problem if you leave it because we're not adding any styling or we're not selecting anything there. But it's important because it's being referred to using the labeled by, the area labeled by attribute. Okay, so we need to come back to that later. So I'm going to change that to edit trip. And the message is going to be edit trip message. Okay, we don't need the map. We're not going to have a map there. All right. All right, so now we're going to change the IDs and names of all these inputs. Okay, so we're going to change departure to departure 2. Destination to destination 2. The price, same. The same for the seats available. Okay, the radio button is going to have a name regular 2. Okay, I'm going to change the IDs as well to yes 2 and no 2. The values are going to stay the same. Now the checkboxes, we're going to change the names and IDs. The values will stay the same. The date is going to turn to date 2. And the time is going to change to time 2. Not the type, the name, and the ID. Now let's just create a button that we can just use to show this edits module. So right after the add trips button, let's just create another one only for testing reasons. And let's change the data target to edit trip module so that it opens the edit trip module. So if I save and open the module, okay, so we can see the edit trip form. All right, so we're going to need to write the same JavaScript code which will show or hide elements. So at the moment, all elements are hidden, and the reason why is because they have the same classes as the add trip form. Okay, they have the regular class and the one-off class. So we're going to change that. We're going to have a regular 2 class, one-off 2 class. Okay, just like this. So now if I save and refresh, so now we can see all the inputs. All right, we'll still add the same styling, adding the margin top. To the time. Okay, that still works because we are using the time class there, so that's fine. Okay, so now let's go to our JavaScript file and write the same code we used for the add trip form. Okay. So this time we're going to select the input of name regular 2. That's radio button, and we're gonna do the same checks, but the classes we're gonna be working on this time are the one-off 2 class and the regular 2 class. So let's save and refresh. Okay, so at the beginning you want to hide all the checkboxes. Okay, so let's try again. Here we go, so they're all hidden and now we can see them. All right, now regarding the calendar inputs, so you're going to need to write the same jQuery code, or we can just select both the inputs of name date, okay, and the inputs of name date 2, just like this. So let's try it. Perfect. All right. Now let's make some changes to the footer. Okay, so we want the edit trip button and the delete button. So let's go back to our form. So the first button is going to be edit trip. So we're going to name it edit trip or update trip. And the value is going to be edit trip. Okay. And we're going to have another input for the delete button. So the value this time is going to be delete. Instead of button primary, you're going to give it a button danger class. So I have a red color. The name of this one is going to be delete trip. Okay. It's not going to be a submit button, so we can just tick off the submit type. Okay, instead of making it a submit button, we're just going to give it an ID saying delete trip, for example. And we're going to use that ID to send an AJAX call to delete a trip when we click on that button. All right, so now let's save and refresh the page, make sure that everything is fine. Okay, everything looks okay. Okay, let's have a quick look at why this button is too wide. Let's try and give it a type button just to see. So if I save and refresh. Okay, that looks better. All right. All right, in the next video, we're going to have a quick overview of the different files we're going to be building to have the different functionalities of our website. And then once we understand that, we're going to start with the create trip functionality.